to happen. I can't tether things together. All right, hold tight for a second, people. Anybody that's catching this right now, I'm going to ask, if you don't mind, that anybody who speaks English understand that there's a lot of Spanish speaking people who are in this area here, and so I'm going to try to speak to some people real quick. Let's see if I can find the page I was on, because I wrote down what the chemical was, but just grant me a little bit of latitude, people, okay? So, okay, I see I've got two in the room. I'm just gonna ask you, I just mentioned this, but I'm gonna ask whoever's in the room, just grant me just a little bit of latitude just for a second. I'm gonna throw out a little bit of Spanish real quick just for some people that need to hear this, okay? All right. Así, por la pipoles en Texas, en la Deerpark, la sitiamos de esta probable una milla, 2 millas, es esta Houston, Texas. Hola, yo soy una chofer de la grande trucas. Yo soy en la internet, en YouTube, yo soy trucking stuff. Okay, está un problema aquí. Está la grande fuego de los químicos aquí no está bien. Mira, los aquí. La química plant de la gasolina aquí hay otros químicos de nuestra gasolina, y la fumas, los fuego, la fumas vamos alto, pero en la noche no vamos alto porque no está caliente. Ok, a ver, how can I say this here? En la fin de semana, en la semana domingo, Sunday, ¿cómo se dice en español? Sunday, domingo. Un fuego aquí, Deerpark, Texas, está solamente que yo imaginar, porque yo chofer la grande trucas y yo hay un libro aquí, la libro de una emergency response guidebook, y yo comprende que yo necesito por la people de comprendo en un accidente de necesito vamos una milla, peoples, una milla está aquí en la página por guide 153, ok, 1053. Yo imaginar de esta, yo necesito un poquito más lumen. Mira, 153, ok, está en la primero necesito vamos una media mía y fuente es una mía, ok. Está un problema porque todos los people choferos aquí y viven aquí y no hablan de nada en la news, en la televisión de necesito vamos, pero la fuego, los fumos allá, aquí está muerte, no está bien, no está bien. Es verdad, porque aquí está el libro de yo necesito por un accidente en la grande ruca, yo necesito por los químicos de hablar, vamos peoples, vamos, ok, y necesito una media de mía y fuentes por la grande, no está una truca, está una planta, todos aquí está fuego, ok. Alright, so esto es un gran problema, y en 2 días todos fuego no está más, y los fumos no está alto, está probable 3 feet en la tierra, y vamos aquí todos peoples aquí hay los fumos porque no hay la calor, la caliente de vamos alto, okay. So I'm gonna go into this for a sec. I just had to throw that out best as I could, and I'm gonna share this with some Spanish speaking people that are living in that area. Here's the deal, people. Look, check this out. There was a fire out here at this explosion at this plant. This happened Sunday, Okay, they're saying it's going to go on for 2 more days past today because they're going to have to let it burn out. They can't even put it out. They're throwing foam on it and stuff. That's fine. They're working on it. They're working hard. But when the reporters asked them, okay, said, what are the levels? Are you monitoring the air levels of gas? And he brought up some chemicals, and I'm going to throw them at you real quick, and it may or may not make sense to you, but believe me, they're in the book, okay? I get the book. I know it's a bit dark, it's so you can see this, because I couldn't tether 2 devices. I just took a picture and set it up there. That's a picture of the situation. Okay, so when the reporter asked them, when he says, you know, how can we be sure? I gotta see where it was that I wrote that down. Yeah. He said, how do we know, you know, what's going on with this smoke? How do we know it's even safe to be here, right? And the official answered. He says, well, you know, we have monitors that we monitor all the time. We monitor stuff, right? And then he said, we also have an outside independent place that comes in when we need this, and they work for us, okay? And there's a TCQ website that you can look, okay, for the ITC monitors, all right? So then he says, well, your ITC monitors have been off, and they registered high at 5 a.m. this morning, and at 5:08 it's been hashed, or some kind of marks. Maybe it was hashtag, maybe it was just marks across the screen, no info. It's been shut down. And he says, why were they shut down? He says, well, sometimes they shut them down for, you know, routine maintenance and stuff. He says, the reporter said, this is one heck of a time. This is an inopportune time for you to be shutting down air, oxygen level and chemical level monitors at 5 in the morning for routine maintenance. And the guy says, well, we have maybe they went mobile. We've got a mobile department. They go, let me tell you something, people. This is no good. If I was in a tanker and I was hauling anything that was either any of those chemicals, that's a gasoline refinery. But what we're talking about is, what they're looking for and watching for is, okay, benzene, which is guide response 130, okay, half a mile, then a mile. Hexane, #1 bad stuff too. And tolulene, which the guy mispronounced, he called it tolulene. It's tolulene, Toulene, 153 in the guide response book, okay? I'll give you some light. In this book, you think I don't know what I'm talking about, people? This is the book. You don't argue with the book, and they're not going by the book. So I'm just telling you, I'm giving you the light here for that. Understand what I'm saying. This information does not come from me. This comes from training. I revert to training. If there's a problem, you got to know what to do. You already have to have this book to that page. So fine. So it says in this book, even with smaller amounts, you do one thing, but when you're talking about a tank or a rail line, because it's a lot more chemical, and you're talking about a whole plant, I'm gonna give you the lowdown on this plant, and I'm gonna tell you what's going on, and then I'm gonna tell you I would not sleep near Deerpark, Texas in a truck stop, because right now the atmospheric levels takes this smoke and it rises. It's at about 3,000 to 4,000 feet. Early this morning it was only 1,000 to 2,000 feet. Tonight, as it cools, it's going to drop down, okay, and the wind's going to affect it. Now, the guy that does weather and stuff, he can maybe tell more about this stuff. I was going to just do something on him today. He tells that 16-day forecast, Mike Morales. I'll mention him, but I'm going to tell you something. The wind pattern is going to drag this stuff, and this is some nasty, nasty stuff right here. Look at how black that smoke is. You will die if you walk into that cloud. I don't care if you'll have to have SCBA. Not just a mask that filters that, because there's no oxygen to be had. We're taught to run from that. Okay, people? You run from that. And you get everybody within a quarter of a mile initially, and then a mile out. So, that's by the book. Now, this is worse than just a truck. That's the whole plant. So I'm going to tell you, real quick, it's a half mile in all directions, even though the wind is blowing west. Okay? They could say, oh, it's just taking it up, it's going to blow it away. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to tell you what I know. I'm going to tell you what's knowledge. And it's not from me, it's from a book. Crack a book, people, you might learn something. So, get you a EGR book, you know. Alright, so, I'll try to get you the names of the places there. Because there's several truck stops around that area. I've got other stuff to talk about other than just this. Okay, but I wanted to bring this up. Sorry, I know that there's a love still down there. I'm looking. Here we go. Okay. And I'm going to get some air real quick. Check it out. I was waiting on live. I couldn't get live. Whatever. Okay. LaPorte, Texas is close to there. All right. Maybe you can still see it if I turn it like that. We'll find out what's wrong with that, right? Okay. LaPorte, Texas is close to that, and there's a Love's in LaPorte. Pasadena, Texas, there's a little truck stop there. Channelview, everybody knows Channelview, and you know, Houston, they don't have many truck stops, but anywhere around the Houston area, and it's going west. Right now, it's going, I think they said west. It's going to change, though. They've already said it was going to change to the opposite direction. Anyways, from Houston, Baytown. Everybody knows Baytown along I-20. Okay, there's that truck stop up there. And the winds change, it could be there. And what's going to happen is when they go to put this out, they can't put this out. They're draining the tanks underneath. There is a way to do this while it's on fire. Trust me, people, I've seen what they've got. They drain the tanks from underneath, okay? And then it's still on fire, though. So they're trying to drain it, and they're containing it as much as they can. But the fire... it's okay, you're not going to put that out. They're using chemicals just to stop foam and stuff. You use foam on this, not water, because it'll spread it. Maybe they're mixing some and using some water, but here's the thing, they are trying to stop these other tanks from catching on fire at any point, any of those, from heat alone. They lost one. It did spread. The numbers on that were, this was they have on the monitors they were saying they had 46 fixed sites. So of those 46 fixed sites, they can give you no data right now, nothing. So that's crazy. They're going just with the mobile ones that they have. It'd be off the charts for that stuff there. There's no oxygen available in that cloud. But anyhow, here's what's going on. It was a total, they have on this section of this farm, this section, they have 15 tanks, okay? They have 7 of them that were affected. One of them was empty, the rest were full. So this is going to burn for 2 more days, all right? So like I said, out of the 15 tanks, only 7 are currently affected. They had, I think they lost 2 more is what happened. I think they had like 5 on fire, and then maybe 2 more caught on. Something happened with that. I don't want to give bad info. I am telling you, they're currently fighting this. I thought it was going to be out. I thought it was no big deal. And the reporter asked something about Friday, and the guy said, we didn't have a fire on Friday. So something happened Friday. That reporter knows some stuff, and they're trying to shut him up. I'm just telling you, if I was a truck driver, and I am, and I was going to Texas, and I'm not, I wouldn't be nowhere around LaPorte. And I've seen tankers go down the road. Here's the problem. This is a whole complex. I've been there. I've been all over these little areas here, okay? And you go across the railroad tracks, and everybody uses that one crossing on the railroad tracks. If they shut this down, everybody's business goes out. They're trying to keep it running just because of all those other businesses. But in 2 days, I think the smoke is going to drop down so low, it's going to affect all of them. They're going to be like, we can't even breathe here. We got to shut this down. I think that's what's going to happen. When you put out a fire, you will always have smoke at ground level at the end. It'll be like a fog. You hear what I'm saying? Because it's not as much heat, but it's still got the chemicals and smoke. This fire is going to be a mess in 2 days. Right now it's a mess. Right now the smoke and all, I'm telling you, you don't want to be no part of that. Unless you have, okay, you keep a breather. SCBA, a full-on, we call it scuba, but you're not underwater, okay? Yes, and that's next. Kid just put the needle on the nail on the head right there, the hammer on the nail head. Kid just put, get ready for fuel prices to skyrocket. Every time there's any kind of a problem, and they have to, even when they change from winter to summer blends, fuel goes up. But anytime they have to put something out like this is a fuel refinery. Now, it's not the pipeline. So they're going to get their money back out of us. So their fire, we're paying for all those tanks, 7 so far, okay? You know, only 1 was empty. 6 full tanks of gasoline that they're going to just let burn out because they can't stop it. You can't stop that. Look, but that's a fire danger anyhow, though, because you don't even bring a lighter into a place like that. You know, they make sure you're not going in there with anything that could be flammable. And so a lot of times what happens is somebody will be welding somewhere on the plant, and then way over here some dude's unloading like some propane or something or whatever it is, some other kind of chemical that's made to use to do something in the plant. I don't think they're getting propane there, they're getting gas, but they will, what happened is the spark over here, this guy will have a busted hose when he's unloading or something, and it'll catch on fire, and then the whole plant goes up. That's what usually happens. This right here, this full-on gas fire, I don't know what they did. I don't know what happened, but they're not stopping it. They're not able to stop it. And everybody around here is just going to work and, oh, let us know. Yeah, I'm letting you know. I wouldn't be nowhere around it. And like I said, when that stuff comes down, it's just like if somebody's got a bad injector on the truck stop parking lot and it smokes up the whole parking lot. That is 110,000 times worse. So you do what you want to do, people. You couldn't pay me enough to sleep out there. So now I got another comment that was some sad faces, I guess. Devin Whiteley. Let's see here. Yeah. So that's how that is. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. And thanks for the like. Appreciate the like. I'm just telling you. I mean, here's the book. You got to go buy the book. And they're not going by the book. I mean, why? Just, you know, throw the book out the window. You know. And I mean, if you don't know how to use one of these, basically, every time I get one, I look it up. I write down here. That's the ID, name, response guide, you know, hazard class, all that stuff. That's an old one. I've got another one up here, but they're the same. They haven't changed. I mean, look, you're supposed to, they're just, you know, I wish I could have played that. I wanted to play that. I don't have internet through this device tethered, but you should have heard. And then he asked him, the last question the reporter asked him, he says, how can I feel safe? How can you make me feel safe when you haven't given us data from 5 a.m. this morning on any of the thing or whatever, and they shut off the stream? So I'm doing a little something, showing a little something. Take it or leave it. How do I know what I know? It's in the book. So argue with a book, not me, people. You want to beat me up, that's fine. I can take it. I can stand on what I know. So going further from that, we're going to talk about some other news. There's some other stuff going on. Food prices are going to go up, but we'll get into something else too. This is still about trucking. Okay. There's still, because the snow was so great. I appreciate the other like too. The snow was so strong in, let me get this straight because I wrote down those state names. I don't want to, you know, people, like I said, they will give me a hard time. Let's see here. Man, where did I put that out? Let's see. I wrote so much about that fire down here. Yeah, down for maintenance, nothing. But yeah, okay. That was right. I was thinking right. That's Iowa and Nebraska. In Iowa and Nebraska, there's like major flooding, and there was already a lot of rain, and then the snow came, and it was so much snow, and then the next day is like bam, melt. It got so hot. People showed pictures online. They sent them to that guy Mike Morales, who does weather, about how at 9 a.m. the whole everything their whole table outside dinette table was covered with snow, and then by noon it was completely clear and there was no snow on the ground, or maybe just a couple of little places with snow. So it's melting so fast that it's filling up the streams and tributaries, all the rivers. So they've got major flooding in Iowa and Nebraska, and the president visited there. There's a picture going around. I don't have it, It's somewhere on the internet, I'm sure, where there's an 18-wheeler that's underwater except for the driver's side window. I hope he got out. I hope he wasn't sleeping in there and didn't drown. That's crazy. But the president visited Iowa and was talking to him about, helping him out with the floods and stuff. Oh, also, there's a handy paid parking in Houston and a Walmart in LaPorte, Texas that allows parking. The Loves is on Highway 225 in Independence, which parts of Independence are closed, and there's a Flying J in Channelview, Texas. But parts of Independence are closed, and there's another route that's closed. It's a major route that comes around it. 225. They reopened 225. It was closed. So, I mean, just watching which way the wind blows and stuff, I'm telling you, I think if I lived there, I wouldn't for about 3 more days, straight up. So, thanks for letting me get the Spanish out there and not beat me up too bad about it. There's people there that need to know about it. And when this goes up as a video, I'm going to send it to a couple of my friends, and they're going to put it on, help their people out. And if I butchered the Spanish language, please forgive me for that too. I don't use it daily. I do what I can, and anyways, so let's see what else was going on. Oh yeah, and food prices are going to go up. There's this is kind of even more so than you would think, because in Colorado there's a major grocery chain that the people have been struggling with the money they make to have enough to make a living in Colorado. And Colorado's going to be higher anyways, right? So it's like they have this grocery store chain, King Soopers, Soopers, King Soopers and City Marketplace, or City Market, I'm sorry. They're looking at 12,000 people going on strike. So let me say it again. 12,000 people at a grocery chain in Colorado are talking about going on strike. They'll get what they want. They're not going to let, they say that they can still stay open or whatever, and it's business as usual now, but they're saying that they have a plan. They ask them what the plan is. They didn't want to say what the plan was. Yeah, they're not going to replace 12,000 people that are going to be going on strike. And they tried a divide and conquer campaign where they offered up the higher-ups more money and then tried to split it up and say, hey, well, we'll give the higher-ups more money, and then the other people have to wait 11 to 21 years to use sick pay and all this other crazy stuff. It's their union, and they're giving them some ridiculous offers, and they're like, no. So 12,000 people are about to strike. Let's see, kid put, they need to go back to using sand to put them fires out. I gotta be honest with you, it's so hot. That's such a hot fire. And you're talking gasoline that replenishes itself, then you'd have a whole bunch of glass, and they'd have to destroy it somehow and get the chemicals back out of it. Sand turns to glass in that kind of heat, for real. It's probably hot as the surface of the sun. It's, what I call hotter than 3 hells. So if you put 3 hills right on top of each other, that's the joke about if you was caught in that, I used to run a tanker, and there you go. That's our humor. So you go to hell 3 times. So anyways, their last strike was in 1996. And so, there you go. But if you want to know about the website for checking air quality out there, by the way, it's TCQ website. It's ready, READY, HARRIS.org. ReadyHarris.org. In other words, get ready, people in Harris, you're going to have to run.org. It's called, the TCQ website is called Mobile Air Quality. The standard sensors they had out there magically went offline at 5 this morning. right about the time that this really started getting off the charts around those sensors. So anyways, is what it is. I'm just telling it. It's been burning since Sunday. It's not out of control, but it's not stopped. Sand naturally is a filter. Yeah, but just like you can stain glass, chemicals can be impregnated in glass as it cools. You know what I'm saying? You'd have a pool of glass. It'd be dangerous for anyone to walk in there. It'd crackle and stuff. And then what's under it could come up, and if it's hot enough, it could reignite. I know it's crazy. I know way too much about this stuff. Like I said, it's all in the book, people. And all the training you have to have. But anyways, they're hitting it with foam right now, and they have ground and helicopters, I guess, that are hitting it with foam, because I think he had said they had aerial foam. So anyways, they're worried about the CO2 and carbon monoxide dangers, you know, and all the other fuel tanks around there. But so yeah, and food prices are going to go up because they're going to pay those people that. And they try to divide and conquer campaign against them. That's the first thing they do. Try to give the higher ups money and see if they can split them up and say, oh, well, we'll just settle. No, they're sticking together. So they're saying, though, they're going to have to let that stuff burn, by the way, at this place for 2 days. They're just going to have to let it burn and try to contain it. I would not go deliver around that area. I would know that there may be more trucks in your regular truck stop than normal, because they may not let them down there on Independence at the Loves. A lot of people used to use it. I've stayed at the Loves at the Independence. I've done video from down there. So, but that let's see. There's quite a few places down there that people are just trying to park because they got tankers and they try to deliver them places. They're going to be backed up, and there's going to be a lot of tankers that can't deliver. Once they finally realize that they're going to have to do something real about, you know, not letting people in. But another thing too, this was on Twitter. In Georgia, there's a law that effectively bans all abortion. This is the people who are pro-abortion. This is their argument. Is they're saying, well, it effectively bans all abortion in Georgia. They're calling it a forced pregnancy bill. Okay, so I'm just going to say this. Like I said on Twitter, I'll put it on here, and then everybody can give me hell about it. I don't care. But it's kind of like your grandmother told you. If you keep an aspirin between your knees, you won't need an abortion. That's what I'm going to say about it. I'm man enough to say that about it. So, you know, they wanted to say, well, if you have and raise a child, then you can't, you know, go to college, do a job. And then they're saying, well, the pro-life people are saying, yes, you can, and we'll help you, is what they're saying. That was the comment on Twitter. So I made a comment on there. I says, well, your grandmother would tell you, you know, if you want to have a job and all this stuff, keep an aspirin between your knees. Just saying. So you can beat me up about that. I can be controversial too if everybody else is going to be, right? So I'm not judging nobody. I'm just saying, don't throw bullshit my way and piss in the rain and say it's raining, or in the sky and say it's raining, just like this. Don't tell me that you know better than me. Them people there, you know, trying to put that on the news or whatever, trying to just say, oh, it's gonna be okay and we're monitoring the situation, when really you're supposed to go by the book. So, and I ripped the top out of that book. I've got a new one. This is just my old one. I got 3 or 4. You keep them, and then you keep the other one. But I have a hazmat. Some people, they just have the what is it called, the hazardous materials guidebook or something, whatever. They try, because we have loads that are out there in trucking businesses that are like, well, yes, they're hazmat, but not hazmat, but hazmat. We don't want to pay you more, basically, but here, haul this. And because it's contained like a battery, a whole bunch of independent batteries, it's okay. You don't have a hazmat, you can legally haul it, and you don't have to placard it. But at the same time, you need a response book, because you need, what do? They don't teach you that. See, and you're liable. That's another thing with trucking. They will put stuff on you and screw you with it. That's the truth. And then you're liable. And the officer says, well, you didn't know how to deal with the product that's on the back of your truck in case of an emergency? And then they didn't tell me. Oh, well, guess whose fault it is? It's still yours. So, guess what, people? This is a finishing school for truck drivers for a reason. This is what I'm telling you. They will put that mess on you. And then when this happens, with a load of batteries, or you know, lighters that are independently you know, boxed and it's less than so many thousand pounds. But this happens, well, there's a, you know, anything that's a water hazard too, there's a whole new placard for that. Whole new deal that they got going on. It's got a fish that's upside down and dead in it. It's called a water pollutant hazard. There's a lot of stuff that falls under that people don't even know about. You better learn your placards and learn what you're hauling, people. Now, if you're hauling steel I-beams, I'm sure you're still fine. But if you're hauling anything that goes to any of the box stores, any of this and that, they'll be slipping in some stuff on you. You won't know what it is. Oh, I'll just take it. Well, just taking it can make you just lose your license in the event of an emergency. Because what you going to do if you go buy this plant? You're going down here to deliver, right? But that plant says, well, we got an emergency and we're trying to have people, you know, not go in this area. And then the police officer stops you, says, what do you have? Is it anything flammable? And you're like, you better know. They can shut you down and write you a ticket. They look at your paperwork and they're smarter than you are and they know what you got. Even if it's less than how many thousand pounds, you could go to prison for trying to, you know, bring something, create a dangerous public hazard. So, am I lying to you, people? Yeah, hey, come straight out the book. If you want to look it up, I gave you the pages. That's all I got for you. I'm going to listen to this music for a second. Anybody wants to say anything? You want to debunk me, knock what I say, do it. Do it now. I'm right here to listen. I have no problem with that. But I'll refer you to the emergency response guide, to the hazardous material book, and I'll tell you that these people are, with that massive plant there, they're trying to keep the status quo. You know, and I'm telling you, in 2 days when that smoke comes down lower than that, whenever it burns and it's lower, it's going to create an environmental breathing problem for real. You can't make smoke, but they can't do nothing with this smoke. You know what I'm saying? So say what you want. It is what it is. You know, I'm bringing you the truth. I hope everybody's doing good. Kid, I'm glad you're here and you checked in. Stay out of Texas. Just saying. At least Houston. For a while. For a few days. And looks like they got that flooding up there, so I'd say stay out of there too. We got more snow coming, by the way, people. Yeah, gee whiz, right? I thought it was over. I even said I believe it's over. A whole nother deal happened. Mike Morales put out the 16-day forecast. There's a little more up north coming. You need to check out his channel for that. I can't help you with that. I go to NOAA.gov. I'll go to weather.gov. I will go to the tropical fixed you know, weather thing. Check out the European and American and Canadian models. The European and American models are pretty much the same now. But like I said, you don't have to do all that. I don't even have to do all that anymore. Now we could just go to Mike Morales' channel. So it's MikeMorales on YouTube. And when you click on there, you'll see on his page it says above ground news. Now he talks about spraying. He talks about, you know, the contrails that he's saying are chemical spraying and stuff. And it is what it is. You believe what you want, but you watch that forecast. The forecast is correct. So give him props. He's doing good work, and truckers could use a little bit of help like that. It's a good resource to go check out. So anyways, like I said, anybody want to say something? I'm fixing to get off this thing pretty soon here. I just wanted to put this out, and I'm fixing to drop it. And for the people in Texas, or I can say por la pipoles de Texas. Hey, look, I just give it to you like it was. If you know somebody that speaks Spanish that lives around LaPorte, Baytown, anywhere around Houston and that area, might let them know. I did my best to speak on it. And hey, maybe you can do better than I can, you know. I'm gonna have a cigar. I hope everybody else is doing good. Like I said, this is a Cuban round. Maybe you can see that. Taste of Havana. I don't really know how this camera really works. What do I know? I'm just an old man with a cigar and a hat, you know. So, kid put, wait till April 12th, we will show him a strike. Yup. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, hands down, it's gonna be on like popcorn. It's gonna be, look. They have put a little bit too much on a group of individuals who are doing the best that we can and trying to make a living, and they messed with that. That was not smart. So, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Which, by the way, I use a Zippo, but people, I use cedar spills. You see that? You take these cedar pieces that come out of the box, and you break them like this, and then I'll break it again and make it even thinner. And that, I light that up, and I light my cigar with that little piece. So it actually, you'll smell the cedar in the cigar a bit. And I'm just a purist. That's just what I do. Everybody's different. You can like, it's just that the stuff that's in this lighter can be, you know, it'll overpower the taste of the cigar. Not that it's just completely bad for you or whatever. I'm just saying, you know. So you light the stick, then you light the cigar. But you can toast it, that kind of thing. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? So, can't do this and run tankers, which is why I don't run tankers no more. You know what I mean? You ain't supposed to have a lighter. They're crazy. Man, I gotta have my cigars. So, get you a cigar, smoke one with me right now. Mm-hmm. And kid said keep them legs closed. Is what it is. He said it. Kid can speak on it too. Look, we got the right to freedom of speech in this country. Tell it, man. Tell it. So yeah, I'm sure I'm blowing up the internet on Twitter right now. I done made that comment and dropped it like a mic drop and walked away. I'm sure that there's, because I put that on Right to Life on their website about the aspirin. I'm sure the whole internet's ablaze with that mess right now. Talking about the aspirin between your knees, your grandmama told you so. Look, I don't care. I don't care. You gonna talk about killing babies and you gonna tell me that I can't tell you where it comes from? Man, what, please? Please, back up off me. They don't want to have it. Look, first off, you can't have a battle of the wits with an unarmed person, you know, and so those people have no intelligent argument as to why they should be able to kill children. Well, I didn't feel like having a kid, so I just want to kill it. What? In no culture ever has that been right. The Mayans did some crazy stuff, but they took their enemies' hearts. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling you. Anyways, the children of the next generation, the English had it right. Women and children first. Seriously? Where that went to and when it went out the window, I do not know. I don't claim to know. Somebody's got to right the ship. Trump's writing it right now. He's very outnumbered and there's a lot of people against him, but he's trying to right the ship. And all we have to do from below decks, like I said the other day, stick your oar, stop rowing so hard and stick your oar in the water, and you'll turn the whole ship. Why don't y'all make some comments? I feel like I'm monopolizing the conversation. I know that people appreciate what I'm bringing them, but let us know how y'all are doing out there. I really do hope everybody's doing good. And we do have some more snow coming. I'll put up a link to his thing. This is kind of crazy. And there's one thing that looks like it's starting a hurricane somewhere in it. He does the whole planet. He does the weather for the whole planet, can give you a 16-day forecast everywhere. You know, just because people don't have a shirt and a tie and a job on a news television station that lies to you real good, doesn't mean they're not trained meteorologists and they can't figure this stuff out. You know, they can give you 1 day and he can give you 16. So I'm using it to make a living, people. I'm checking it out and saying, yup, that's spot on. At some point, I'm going to quit even going to NOAA. I'm just going to start looking at his channel, writing down the names of the numbers of the date that he puts out there, write it down on a piece of paper, and if I'm going there And I know when it's going to rain. I know when it's going to be snow. And, you know, that way you're not stuck at a truck stop in knee deep in snow going, oh, we have to shut down now. Why? When you get paid by the mile. You know what I mean? They're not paying you for that. You know? If they are, it's nominal. It's a joke. So, anyways, I'm going to get off this thing and put it up so that I can get some information out to some people. Share it if you know any kind of a Spanish-speaking website. Drop it there. I did my best. At the first video where you people maybe weren't in here, I told them what was going on. It's supposed to be a half a mile in all directions, even for an 18-wheeler. That's a lot more than even what they say. The next level up is a rail car. That's a lot more than just a rail car. That's lots of rail cars. Matter of fact, there's probably a train on there. But right here in this area, these are their tanks. So that's a lot of fuel, people. Those tanks are huge. Those tanks are huge. And you know, I don't know how many people might have got hurt in that mess. I hope nobody got hurt, but when you look at it, first thing you're going to think is somebody decided to be a hero and went up there and tried to shut some valves off to close it off from the rest of it. I don't see how somebody couldn't have got hurt, you know. And it's going to affect a lot of people that work around there. When that smoke, like I said, on that, in 2 days from now, they're saying they're going to let it burn out, and they figure it's going to take 2 days. And they're draining it from underneath. In 2 days, when that smoke is down lower, because it's not as hot, it can't go up that high, that whole area is going to be shot. So I'm going to let y'all talk. Make a comment, people. Like I said, let me know if I'm doing a good job or not. I think I'm doing all right. I'm bringing it to you. I'm bringing you the truth. You know, try to give you a heads up on how to plan your day with trucking too, around weather and stuff that happens, bridges out, this kind of shit right here. Anything, you know. I'm glad I'm not doing that. Kid put LOL. Yeah. I'm gonna have this cigar. Yep. Might even have to relight it. That's what happens when you talk. Cigars are supposed to shut you up. I'm having a program trying to talk and have a cigar at the same time. It's like it's like trying to hit the brake and the gas at the same time. Thankfully, I've got lots of cedar spills. They're free, by the way. If you go to a cigar shop and they want to charge you for these sticks right here that they get out of the box, out of the bottom of the box, don't go there no more. All the good shops that make money selling cigars and that are reputable are going to have a jar full of these things. You can take a handful every time you're in there. No big deal. And you can get a box, a nice cigar box to put cigars in. Even if you buy a couple, they'll sell you a cigar box for $1, maybe $2 if it's a super nice one. They don't care. You gotta get rid of them some ways anyways. So, you know.
Downtempo electronic and deep house. Chill.
I'm about to go ahead and end this thing. Y'all stay safe. Don't want to just have dead air, and I'm not having comments here, and so I'm needing to get people. Get you a cigar and get you a place to stay for the night that doesn't have all that smoke in it. You know what I'm saying? Just giving you the heads up. I'm gonna get out of here. Appreciate you stopping by. Check out my channel. If you haven't been here before, if you're a new truck driver, my 2 playlists that I'd want you to watch is Fix It Vids and Trucking Tips. That's all you need to know about. And check out Mike Morales for weather. He's on Twitter too under Cart something. I don't know. Anyways, stay safe. I'm gonna get down the road. That's all I got for you. Go on, shoo. Go on, that's all I got. Thanks for showing up. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.